Assalamu alaikum. Topic under discussion is the early amniotic evolution and the skull structure. How amniotes are evolved and how their skull structure is and how their skull structure evolves in during the course of the evolution. It is not known that at what point exactly the phylogeny extraembryonic membranes appeared as the structures do not fossilize. We found amniotes in the Carboniferous fossil bed approximately 320 million years old. Adaptive radiation यानी evolution हुई early amniotes की in the late Carboniferous period and the early Permian period. This time coincide with the adaptive radiation of terrestrial insects, the major prey of the amniotes. We can previously we are discussing that amniotes we've found actually the fossils of amniotes in the Carboniferous fossil bed means 320 million years old. At the same time, the evolution of the amniote is contemporary to the evolution or adaptive radiation of the terrestrial insects, which are the major prey of the early amniotes. If the food is available in the plenty, definitely amniotes were flourished at that time. The oldest amniote fossil document the divergence of the two lineages from oldest amniote fossil. Two lineages evolve. One lineage is called Synapsida. This is important from examination point of view. It lead to the mammals, and the second lineage lead to the all reptiles, including the birds. In synapsids, there is a single fenestrine behind the opening of the eye in the skull, while in the diapsid there are two openings present behind the eye orbit in the skull. The term synapse refer to the amniote skull condition in which there is a single opening. Fenestrine is another word used for opening in the temporal posterior lateral region of the skull. This opening facilitates the jaw attachment and it lightens the weight of the skull. This is the reason why these openings are present in the skull. It provide the jaw attachment. It provide the point for the jaw attachment or help in the movement of the jaw, and it lighten the weight of the jaw. The common ancestor of synapsid lineage and early reptiles had an anapsid skull. Anapsids mean there is no fenestrine present behind the eye orbit. The anapsid skull lack fenestrine in the temporal region. Traditionally, turtles have been placed near the base of the amniotic lineage because of their anapsid skull. So this is the example. Anapsid skull is present in turtles. If this question will ask from you in exam or an objective, you must keep in mind turtles have an anapsid skull. Recent paleontological studies have shown that an anapsid skull was present in a variety of extinct lineages. They are not present today. Therefore, it is not a character that is useful in defining any specific lineages. Molecular evidences strongly suggest that turtles are more closely related to other reptiles than the previously thought. This view is gaining increasing support among the zoologists, and if it is true, the anapsid condition is the turtle is the secondary. अच्छा, अब ये कह रहे हैं कि जो एक्सटिंक्ट हो चुकी थी लाइनेजेस, उनके अंदर आपको एनएप्सिड कंडीशन मिलेगी, और ये ऐसा करेक्टर नहीं है कि जो किसी भी स्पेसिफिक लाइनेज को डिफ़ाइन करने के लिए कोई ख़ास अहमियत का हामिल हो. मॉलिक्यूलर एविडेंस ये बताती हैं कि जो टर्टल्स हैं ये दूसरे रेप्टाइल से ज़्यादा मिलती हैं, ना कि उनके साथ जो हम प्रीवियसली सोचते थे. अगर ऐसा है तो प्राइमरीली जो है टर्टल्स एनएप्सिड नहीं थे, बल्कि ये उनका करेक्टर बाद में इवॉल्व हुआ. दैट इज़ द फेनेस्ट्री इन द स्कल ऑफ द टर्टल. एंसेस्टर्स वुड हैव बीन लॉस्ट इन द कोर्स ऑफ एवोल्यूशन. इनकी भी फेनेस्ट्री मौजूद थी स्कल में, और जो इनके एंसेस्टर्स ने कोर्स ऑफ एवोल्यूशन के दौरान उसको लूज़ किया. All living reptiles are the members of the diapsida. अच्छा, जितने भी लिविंग रेप्टाइल्स हैं ये मेंबर्स हैं डायप्सिडा के, विद द एक्सेप्शन ऑफ द टर्टल्स. Members of this group have upper and lower opening in the temporal region of the fenestrae, this temporal region of the skull. There are numerous extinct diapsid lineages living. Diapsid include the Lepidosauria, snakes, lizards, and Euteras are included in Arthosauria, crocodiles, and their closest relatives and birds are included. Archaeocera include dinosaurs, and dead birds are included in Dinosauria. In spite of turtles having an absent skull, they are a part of the diapsid lineage. Okay, skull is an absent in turtles, but they are a part of diapsid lineage. There is a controversy. Controversy कहते हैं इख्तलाफ, as to whether they are a sister lineage with Archosaurus or more closely related. अभी हमें इस बारे में कंट्रोवर्सी है कि ये जो टर्टल्स हैं क्या ये सिस्टर लाइनेजेस हैं आर्थोसौरिया के साथ, यानी क्रोकोडाइल और उसके जो क्लोजेस्ट रिलेटिव्स हैं बर्ड्स वगैरह भी, या फिर or to the Lepidosauria. The most recent molecular information favors close ties to the Arthosauria. आजकल molecular biology के ऊपर बहुत काम हो रहा है, उससे जो evidences मिली हैं उसमें हमें ये पता चला कि turtles जो हैं ये ज़्यादा closest relative हैं आर्थोसौरिया के, यानी क्रोकोडाइल्स और उनके closest relatives के. अच्छा, अब हमने amniote skull characteristics देखनी है. ये देखें, this is the eye orbit, and in the temporal region there is a single opening. This is the skull of the mammals, and this lineage is known as an apsid. An apsid, mostly these texts are extinct, but living member of this taxa is the turtle. This is the eye orbit, and there is no opening in the temporal region. This is diapsid lineage, Lepidosaura and Archosaura. This is the eye of orbit, and there are two fenestrae or two openings are present in the temporal region of the skull. Okay, thank you. This is the completion of the topic.